Hello. Today I am going to be featuring this tarot deck. This is a wonderful, beautiful tarot deck. It's very much comparable to the Tarot of Delphi. And so these are a little bit smaller though. And I'll show you the difference. So I have these right now showcased in a velvet bag. It's kind of a purple velvet bag, and in the center I just added this little centerpiece, kind of a star in the center. And so I'll show you first the back of the cards. They're kind of a pink deck on the back, and they could be red either way, top or bottom, so that's kind of nice. Now these cards brings you some cards. It brings you a lot more to the deck. It's actually 84 cards in this deck. So you have your 78 standard tarot card, but they brought you a few decks here. Now I actually wanted to show you the difference in size the card is. So they're two and a half by 3.5, and so this one is a regular deck, and so you can compare the difference in size there. They're quite small, so the image become a little bit harder to see when they're that small, but they're so worth it when you have a deck as beautiful as this. Now some of the additional card that it brings you is the 4 elements. So here we have the air card. And these are not cards that are normally found in a tarot deck, but in this particular deck they included it, and so you could give it whatever meaning you want it to be. Air could be maybe for mental, any mental, or it represents the sword or the 4 elements. So we have the air, which is additional. We have the fire card, and we have the water card. And I'm outdoors, so I brought them outdoor just so we could get a lot of clarity, a lot of sunlight in viewing these cards, because we'll need it. We have the earth card, and then we have the monkey, the happy monkey card. And the happy monkey card is a wild card. You give it whatever meaning you would like. And so these are 5 that are included in the deck, and I'll show you more throughout the deck that are additional cards. I will start showing you the deck by starting with the major arcana. So we have the full cards here. And these are actually artwork from the 1700s and 1800s, so quite lovely. Here we have the magician. And I'll name the card for you so you know exactly which card you're looking at. The high priest. We have the empress. Now there's actually 2 empress cards. There's this empress card, and this is the second empress card. So one is more portraying probably nature. This one is the nature one. And then we have an empress card, which is more royalty. Kind of a powerful image of an empress card. We have the emperor card. And that looks like Napoleon. We have the hieroglyph, which is an open book with glasses. And we also have 2 cards here. We have this lover card, and this is the second lover card. So in the first lover card that I'm showing you here, it looks like he's almost doesn't look like he's very much in love with that woman. They're each looking kind of in a different direction. So that's one interpretation of the lover card. And of course this one, which I like the best, and is where he's actually embracing his artwork. He's doing a statue there, and the statue comes to life and he's embracing it. So I really love this image. So you could decide, to include both lover card in your reading, or you could decide to only use one. You could pull out the other one, keep the one that you like. Either way, you can't go wrong. So we have the Chariot, which is your typical two horse, the black horse and the white horse. Little nudity there. He got cover there, just a little bit to cover his sachet. The Strength card, very lovely. We have the Hermit card. And again, these are artwork that already pre-existed. Some of these cards share the same as the Tarot Delphi, and the Tarot Delphi is no longer available in the market for sale. These are, but they only sell them seasonal, so they're really hard to get. So if you could get a deck, it's worth it, even though they're a little bit smaller, but it might make it easier to shuffle. And I just love looking at the image. I just browse through it just for the image. So the one I'm showing you here, and they have actually renamed it. This is the Wheel of Fortune card, and in this one they call it a Thread of Fate. We have our Justice card. I believe that's the same image also used in the Tarot Delphi. They also renamed this card. This is actually the Hangman, and in this card they call it Revelation, and he's looking at the image in the pond. We have our Death card, portrayed with a skull. Our Temperance card. And they also renamed this one. Now this is actually the Devil card, and in this Devil card they call it Self-Ruin. Now I must say she is a much prettier devil than I ever seen. So just a lovely lady. They also renamed this card. This is the Tower card, and they renamed it to Upheaval. Our lovely Star card. I must admit, my favorite card of all the decks is usually the Star. I just love it. This is the Moon card, and she's on top of a cloud, and she's throwing an arrow in the air. We have our Sun card. And they also renamed this card. This one is, instead of the Judgment card, they named it Redemption. And again, this is one of those that has two deck. We have two world cards. This is one of them. I call it the Go-Go Girl. She's, flashing her boobies. And then this is the second world card. So you decide which of the two cards you want to use in your deck, or do like I do. I use them both. It has good meaning. The world card has a very good meaning. So it's no problem having that card show up twice. A positive card. So those were the showcase of the major arcana. Now I'm going to move to the minor arcana, and I'm going to start with the Ace of Swords. This is the Second of Swords. And we have our Three of Swords. Very dramatic scene there. We have the Four of Swords. Our Five of Swords. And on Five of Swords, she's putting poison into the cup. The Six of Swords as she sails away. The Seven of Swords. The Eight of Swords. So she's wrapped up in this bandage instead. It's a beautiful way of showing it. We have the Nine of Swords, and she has a very much worried look in her face. And in this case, they actually included 2 Nine of Swords. So this is the second version of the Nine of Swords. You could choose one, both, whatever's your favorite. The 10 of Swords. So instead of putting page, here we have the Prince of Swords. And very much, there's a lot of expression to his face. You know, you could read very much into this card. We have our Knight of Swords. And we also have 2 cards here. We have 2 Queens of Swords. We have this one, and then we have a full portrait of Swords. You could choose whichever you want to keep in the deck. And we have the King of Swords. And I just love his facial expression. There's a lot to be read from it. Okay, now we're going to start with our Ace of Wands. The 2 of Wands. The 3 of Wands. Smooth sailing there. The 4 of Wands, and it's just a chair with blooming flowers. That's very pretty. It's kind of a garden scenery almost. We have our 5 of Wands. I'm sorry, did I say swords or wands? Anyway, I meant wands. You know what I mean. So here we have the 5 of Wands, and they're battling it. The 6 of Wands, and they're carrying their queen. So it's a victorious. And we have 2 cards here. The 7 of Wands. We have this one, which is my favorite because I just love angels. And then this is the 7 of Wands also. So there's 2 cards there that are additional in the deck. We have the 8 of Wands. Our 9 of Wands. Powerful image. Even though he's just standing there, just the color, the vibrancy of the cards, the images are so well selected. It's just a beautiful artful deck. We have the 10 of Wands. And she is carrying there her low and also carrying a child with her. You know, we women, we carry a lot of lows, and so this is a nice image to portray that. We have our Princess of Wands, and she's beautifully dressed in this transparency red dress. We have our Knight of Wands. And we have our Queen. And our King. Now that's what I call a turtleneck. I'm so glad we did away with some of these clothing that does not look comfortable, but it's pretty and admirable in the photo here. So now we're going to start showing you the Ace of Chalices. So these are our cups, our emotional cards. We have the 2 of Chalices. So we have our lovers there, look like they're running away. Our 3 of Chalices. The 4 of Chalices. We have the 5 of Chalices. The 6 of Chalices. And so we have the little girl kissing the other one, the younger one, to comfort her. 7 of Chalices. And in the 7 of Chalices, what we're looking at is an abundance of fruit, plate, There's golden plates here. Everything is so ornament. Lots of flower going on here. We have the 8 of Chalices. A 9 of Chalices, and in this 9 of Chalices, she's picking up some flowers from the garden. We have a 10 of Chalices, and so we have this big happy home there, and the family in the front there. Now in this Princess of Chalices, we have a lovely mermaid who's combing her hair. Our Knight of Chalice, she stands at her feet. We have our Queen of Chalices. Oh, she has this lovely flower just right on the front of her dress, and another lovely flower on her top of her hair. We have our King. And he almost looked like a cross between George Washington with that hairdo. Elegant dress in his fine best. And then we move on to the coins. This is the beginning, the Ace of Coin. And so they have a table full of fruits. Very much a sign of abundance. We have our 2 of Coin, and we have another go-go girl going here. She's juggling some balls there on top in the air, or maybe fruit. I believe it's probably fruit, might be apple because it's red. You know, a little nudity in these cards, but it's all in an artful way and very much in good taste. We have our 3 of Coin. Our 4 of Coin. You can see what's going on. So they have watch and coin on the table, and he has the weight. He's weighing the coins there. He's carefully washing over his money. And this is the 5 of Coin. The 5 of Coin is actually empty shoes, and one of the shoes that they show in the bottom of looks like it's pretty wore out there. That's for the 5 of Coin. The 6 of Coin. And the 6 of Coin is basically, she has a sherry on her hand, and there's a turtle that's coming along to feast on the cherry that's being offered to him. So it's kind of a generous giving out, you know. We have the 7 of Coin, and we have a beautiful feel going on there. It looks like everything is nice and in bloom and lush, and just an array of colors there. And we have the 8 of Coin, and she's sitting back with her hand behind her head. Our 9 of Coins. And the 10 of Coin. And so it looked like they're rocking a brand new baby that they just had. The family looks happy there. Now this one, instead of having a princess, they put a prince. So this is our Prince of Coin, and he almost looked like maybe an African descendant, and beautiful hat that he's wearing there, probably ornament, with lots of ornament, a lot going on there in his hat. We have a Knight of Coin. It's actually portrayed by an older gentleman. This is our Queen of Coin. She's wearing a lovely olive colored dress there with flowers in her hair. And we have the King of Coin. Thank you so much for reviewing this deck with me. Since I have a little problem pronouncing the name, I took the courtesy there to write it there for you. So if you want to look it up and find your own deck, you know, purchase your own deck, that's what the cards look like. And you will receive more than just 78 cards. There's quite an additional cards that are including in this deck. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.